We're going to cool down an upper body workout by really opening up the chest and opening up the lats, two areas that I see very tight and restricted on a lot of people. And we're going to do it just on the ground, so you don't need to go anywhere or use anything. So we're going to start it off with a pec stretch. So arm will be at about a 90-degree angle here. Okay, it could be a little bit higher. It can be a little bit lower. You can play around with it. The basis of this is that you just don't want your shoulder blade forward and your shoulder toward the floor. We want our shoulder blade rolled back into our spine. So kind of get that shoulder off the floor. And then I'm going to kind of scorpion over so you can move that arm as you need. And your goal is not to twist in that low back, but just open from that chest. So I'm just going to press away from the ground and open until I feel a stretch, keeping that shoulder back. As soon as I feel a chest stretch, I'm going to take a nice, slow, deep breath, a few of them. Relax into that. Play around with a different position if you need to. And then I'll switch to the other side. So again, your arm does not have to be at a perfect 90-degree angle. It could be wherever it feels best for you. Roll that shoulder back, open up. And if you need to have your head relaxed, you can have your other hand as a fist to kind of help. And that top leg is just kind of relaxing. If it touches the ground, cool. If it doesn't, no big deal. Just relax it, opening up that chest mainly, not necessarily trying to twist from the low back. Just breathing into that chest, which mine feels very tight right now. And then switching sides. And again, you can use that fist to kind of guide. Keep that shoulder back off the ground. So the main thing is that you just don't want this shoulder to be resting on the ground, because we really want to make sure we're not just stretching in the front of the shoulder, but you're actually stretching in the front of the chest. So you really want to get that opening all the way from the front of that chest. And again, you can play with different arm position. So if you need it to go down lower a little bit and that feels better for your chest, that's totally fine. It doesn't have to be one way. And you're really just using the breath. I'm doing about 3 deep, slow breaths to each side. And we just have one more to the other side. So play with that positioning, see what feels best. Keep that shoulder blade back and relax. Really deep breaths here, really getting into and opening up that chest. Maybe the arm is a little bit higher. Maybe it's out a little bit more. Maybe that puts too much tension on your shoulder. You really get to play with it. Bending the elbow more can put a little bit more tension on the rotation needed in that shoulder. So maybe it's out a little bit straighter. Okay. Maybe it has a little bend. Maybe it needs to move a little lower. So play around with positioning, get to know what feels best and works best within your own body. And then we're going to take it to a child's pose. Now I'm going to take my arm to the side, use my outside arm to kind of hold that wrist. And I'm going to look almost like I'm trying to go underneath my armpit here and opening up that side of the body. So this is going to be a good lat stretch here, breathing into your armpit and rib cage area. That's what you want to kind of think about here. About 2 to 3 nice slow breaths. Big breaths. And if you can get into just breathing in and out through your nose. So again, I'm holding that wrist and then leaning into that armpit so that I get into that side body. So you should feel this almost all the way down to your low back. And if it's too hard on your knees to kind of get into this child pose position, this is where you can always sit on an ottoman or a low chair and bend over a couch or a low bed, and kind of get your body into a similar position without having to bend onto your knees. So there's always ways to modify based on what your body needs, but still be able to get the benefits of what we're trying to do here. And at max, if you really need to, you can even do it standing. So if you want to grab a door frame, and kind of grab the inside of the door frame and lean your hips back and kind of lean into that armpit area. You can do that standing as well if you just can't find a place to sit and a kneeling is just really not happening. So different ways. I love being in the child's pose to do this personally because after a workout, it feels really good to down regulate and relax my system, my body. And for each of these, you can always go back. You could do another round. You can spend more time. So it really just depends on what you need and how much time you have and what you're feeling within your body. But as long as you're using nice, deep, slow, relaxing breaths, really trying to focus on inhaling and exhaling from your nose, you tap into that parasympathetic system, relax, down-regulate the body, which is exactly what we want to do after a workout, especially if it was really heavy or quite intense.
Don't forget, if you love what you're learning, I have so much more in stock for you. So hit that subscribe button, check out the other videos I've done in the past, and leave any comments of any suggestions that you have for videos in the future. And I can't wait to help you feel incredible and amazing within your body.